And do you guys know what Einstein says about energy?
Can't be created or destroyed.
Can't be created or destroyed. So when energy is coming, like an addiction, if you imagine addiction coming like a train, is there really much use jumping in front of a train to stop it? And you know what's going to happen if you jump in a train, right? Or jump in front of a train.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday and we take questions and answers from the audience. Some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy.
I'm going to introduce, I'm going to say net negative effect. So net negative effect, it means, by that I mean, okay, well maybe it's good now, like eating too much chocolate, maybe it's good now, but it has a net effect, you know, which is negative. So we're going to be talking an addiction. Someone else could say, well, addiction could be breathing air, or we're going to push that to the side for now and say, no, we're talking about net negative effects. A way to meet needs, but those needs may be unconscious and they're probably going to be like an unrelenting desire or a habit. Unrelenting desire or habit or unconscious behavior to satisfy a need, but they create a net negative effect. So we all have these core needs inside, or we all have some needs. Now, some people may have the need to have children, some people may not. So the need to have a child could be kind of universal, but maybe not. So some needs are more universal. And when it comes to universal needs, we all have some needs in common. Abraham Maslow mentioned the, Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. But Abraham went a bit crazy trying to figure that out because there's logical levels on it and the logical levels aren't standard. So Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of human needs isn't a hierarchy which is fixed like we may be taught. However, it's a very useful hierarchy. So when Maslow was doing that, he actually got involved in spiral dynamics, and spiral dynamics threw a lot of Maslow's needs out the window. It kind of proved that the model wasn't sufficient. However, it was practical. So if you know the Abraham's Maslow, it's a great model, but who has seen the core human needs, or it's often called the Tony Robbins model. Has Tony J. Robbins heard of it? 6 core human needs? And this is before we start working with someone, we got to understand our core needs. And if you see the definitions we came up with, way to meet needs. So what are the needs? And a quick way to see what are the needs can allow us to see what the underlying needs are. And do you guys know what Einstein says about energy?
Can't be created or destroyed.
Can't be created or destroyed. So when energy is coming, like an addiction, if you imagine addiction coming like a train, is there really much use jumping in front of a train to stop it? And you know what's going to happen if you jump in a train, right? Or jump in front of a train. Now, if an addict or us, and we probably just work with ourselves, if we have an addiction and we try to stop it like we stop a train, that energy is just going to crash, maybe crash us, or maybe we'll end up doing more damage to ourselves. I mean, honestly, who's tried to do things, hasn't done it, and felt bad about it? I mean, like this week. We do it all the time. We try to do things, we don't succeed, and we often go, am I good enough? Or we kick ourselves up the butt, and it can be good motivation. But when we try to stop our own addictions, like front on, energy just goes bang. Yeah? So the simple remedy for this. What do we do for that energy coming? Yeah? Bit of jiu-jitsu, bit of Bruce Lee. Energy is much easier diverted than stopped. Plus, if you want to think of it, if there's a pile of energy already going, the diversion can actually break through new limits, past limits, old beliefs, and we can actually use the energy of addiction to go to somewhere very new and different, not just stop the addiction. When we use the energy, like judo, when we use the energy, yeah. Now, there's one concept I'd like you to get from NLP or hypnosis, and that's utilization. Utilization. Utilizing whatever comes up. Yeah. So Tad now, he's listening, but he's got his little boy. So he's like, I'll use it. I'll listen to everyone, and I can have my boy at the same time. We'll just use it. And what am I doing? I'm using it. Yeah. So we want to use the energy rather than stopping it. So whether it's yourself or someone else, number one thing with addiction is don't jump in front of the train. Utilize it. Now, if we use it and utilize it and beat ourselves up and just keep beating ourselves up or beating the other person up, well, damn. And to tell you the truth, many years ago when I was heavily addicted, I was using my addiction in some ways in positive ways, but in some ways very negatively. And for a few years, I thought it was just like a habit. I thought, like Michael said, I thought I just had an unrelenting desire. So I spent a lot of my life pursuing my desire. Did a bit of damage along the way. And no one kind of stopped me, and no one kind of said to me, Adrian, that's an addiction. I was just like, no, it's a way of life. Now, I had an underlying need that I wasn't fulfilling. I had an underlying need, and I met it in very unresourceful ways. An addiction could be seen as behavior that's unresourceful or behavior that's below the line to satisfy the need. The first thing will be to get the awareness, like stopping the train. When people get awareness of it, they can come up with their own solutions, or we can help people come up with their solutions. But first, we got to get people raising their awareness. Now, the first thing Bernadette said I think was right on point. A person could be angry, and they could be sad. They could be feeling a variety of things, but underneath there could be something different. And a common example is, hey, men, were you ever told as a kid it's cool to cry? Really, some people were told it's okay to cry. I was told not to cry. I was told to be tough, especially at funerals. There was a funeral and my dad said, hey, can you be tough for your mum? Okay, Dad. I was tough, all right. I found out if I roll my eyes up, I wouldn't cry. If you ever want to stop crying, just look up. It stops tears. Only thing is that it's stupid. So as a young boy, instead of crying, I might get angry, sometimes even violent. So the anger was what people saw, but underneath it was sad. So I might get angry, and then my family comes, gives me attention, yeah, hopefully. Maybe some family, friends, or loved ones would come and they would condole me, and suddenly I would feel a connection and I would feel sad. And maybe I would feel really sad. And maybe I would almost cry. But fucking men don't cry. We get angry. So we'll get angry again. Yeah. And maybe get angry at others. And then as coming down closer to the emotion of sadness, whoop, up comes anger again. So it could end up circling, looping. And a lot of people can loop between emotions without getting out. And you'll see a very clear example is too. Transactional analysis is good at looking at that, or the NLP. Basically, the structure is negative kinesthetic leading to another negative kinesthetics. And TOTE, test, operate, test, execute, it just keeps looping. Yeah. Strategy is very common. Okay, so you can have this, you can have looping around in emotions. Now, this person looping around between anger and sadness, they could be addicted to a whole range of things. It could be your usual things like alcohol, but it could be cigarettes. It could be avoiding the world. It could be going into isolation. Yep, it could be violent. It could be drugs. It could be all kinds of things.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live, free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.